Now, do you wonder why all of the big-time comedians like Dave Chappelle and now even D.L. Hughley and Monique find themselves in these huge contract snafus? I mean, wouldn't you think that they would have a team of lawyers who could make sure that they avoid such calamity? I mean, what's really going on? Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore, and welcome back to my channel. Now, as you know, the crux of this Instagram beatdown between D.L. Hughley and Monique is based on a contract fight focusing on which one of them was the legal headliner of their comedy show last month. And so I'm going to break through all of the clutter and get right to the point of all of the riffraff going back and forth between DL and Monique, and tell you who I think the legal headliner truly is. And so let's take a look at some of the things Monique said when she took to the stage on the night of the comedy show.
I fucks with contracts. That's why niggas got a problem with me. If you sign the motherfucking contract, that's what the fuck it is. But they're so used to niggas fucking around with the contract and being nervous because they might lose an opportunity or a motherfucking chance, so they won't redo the contract. I'm not a bitch who's gonna redo the contract. If you sign the motherfucker, that's what the motherfucker is. So tonight, see, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna break it down for you, Detroit, because I would feel less than a motherfucking woman if I didn't let y'all know what the fuck was going on this stage right now. So if my energy is a little different, nigga, because they got me fucked up. Fucked up. They got me fucked up. So the contract, oh nigga. The motherfucking contract said that a bitch is the headliner. The headliner. Let me say it again, the headliner. That's what the motherfucking contract says. Monique is to be the last motherfucking person on the goddamn stage. She is the headliner. That's what I signed the fuck up for. I'm 30 plus years in this motherfucking business and I don't open for no goddamn body. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. But a nigga named D.L. Hughley turned into a bitch and said I won't perform if she does that. I won't go out if she does that. Nigga, you open for the kings of comedy. I close for the queens of comedy, nigga.
Now, if you want to find out what DL said in response, you'll have to stick around. But the first thing I want to say is that, in my opinion, Monique won the battle right there on the stage. Even if DL wanted to be designated as the headliner, and he thought that that definition would be solidified by him taking to the stage after Monique, well, that is the last thing I would have done if I were in his position. And as you can see, this actually is 100%, in my opinion, on brand for Monique. This is her exact audience, and this is the exact type of wretchedness that is the sweet spot for her brand. As you could see, the audience was eating it up, and she completely changed her entire routine on the fly, and you gotta admit, it was hot and it had a great amount of energy. But you can stick around to see what DL said and make your own decision on who was the best comedian at the event. But again, I feel like, in my opinion, Monique is 100% winning in this particular moment. And I personally would encourage her to realize what an awesome opportunity this is for her and other artists who would be willing partners with her in other future good cop, bad cop scenarios to create future ratchet opportunities. But let me be clear, and maybe there was just some confusion with Monique at the time that she was on the stage, making her think that she and DL were in some sort of contract, because she kept saying when you sign the contract or what the contract said. But let me be clear with you. This is not the case. She and DL were not in any type of contract that I can see at this point based on all of the receipts that I have seen. And as you'll see, I doubt that DL was in any type of contract at all whatsoever. And so if you want to see my full breakdown of this mess, please watch my prior video wherein I follow the breadcrumbs of the various receipts posted on social media by DL and Monique. And in addition, I discuss how to avoid these problems in my first book entitled Contract Writing for Dummies, and as well in my second book entitled How to Get Away with Contracts, Episode 1. And you can pick up a copy of either or both of my two books on Amazon. And I'll place a direct link for my prior video and my two books down below in the description section of this video. And just let me say that both of these characters, DL and Monique, are completely ignorant. I mean, when it comes to dealing with contracts. And so, if you know either of them, please tell them to call your girl. And I mean both of them, because as I stated in my prior video, in my opinion, they're fighting against the wrong people when they're fighting against each other. They should be fighting against these ratchet ghetto producers. But you could tell them to call your girl too. I mean, everybody call your girl. But anyway, and so if you watch my prior video, you'll see that it appears that DL did not have a contract at all. Now, what he did have was what we call a deal memo. But a deal memo, in my opinion, is just a document that reflects a proposal that he had entered into with a production company by the name of 5 Times Production Inc. And the deal memo did include language that purported to establish that DL would be the closing act. But Monique had what looks to be a contract with a whole nother production company by the name of New Day Entertainment. So I never saw the last page of Monique's contract, so I don't really know if New Day actually signed that contract or not, and whether it is actually a valid, signed, sealed, and delivered contract. But it purports to be between Monique and New Day only. So DL Hughley is not a party to this contract at all. And since DL does not have a contract, it seems clear that Monique is not a party to any contract that he may be in a party to with the other production company. And so among all of the receipts posted by DL and Monique, neither of them ever posted anything that reflects a deal between DL and Monique, whereby there was an agreement between them that states who would be the headliner of the event. And so this is what would be needed. I mean, there's just no other solution to this particular problem. The designation of only one of these two people to be the headliner. You would need a contract that lists them both, whereby that is their agreement. That's the signed, sealed, and delivered, case closed. That's the only way that this can happen. Instead, what we have here is two separate documents. We have the one document, DL's deal memo with one separate producer, and then we have a wholly nother document, Monique's purported contract with a whole nother producer. So we have the left hand talking to its left hand producer, and then we have the right hand talking to her right hand producer. But it seems that each artist thinks they'll be the headliner at this one comedy show event, when the left hand, DL Hughley, the artist, and his producer never shook the right hand, Monique, the artist, and her producer. So they never had what we call in the law a meeting of the minds on the most critical issue in the contract, i.e., who would be the headliner of the show. And so, as stated in my prior video, a deal memo is not a contract. Some people may look at it as if it's a contract, but it is not, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is nothing more than a proposal to enter into a contract. So until DL posts his contract, I can only say that he did not have one, which is kind of shocking to me. And I think this is some of what Monique was trying to communicate when she took to the stage with so much passion in the heat of the moment. But she did not have any agreement or contract with DL that would create a binding deal vesting in her the right to be the headliner of the comedy show either. And so if we must assign a winner of this Instagram smackdown, I would give it to Monique because she at least had a contract. But as it relates to being assigned the title of being the headliner, they are both SOL because neither of them had a proper agreement vesting in them the right to hold that title. But now, let's take a look at what DL said in response to Monique when he took to the stage during the comedy show event.
Diseases we can't talk about, is it? Because I'm not getting shit slapped out of me because y'all can't take a fucking joke. He slapped the shit out of that man in national TV and he started crying. The fuck, did you hurt your hand? And let me tell you something, if you don't want people telling jokes about you, stop telling your goddamn business. How about that? Shut the fuck up sometimes. I want to go on red table, bitch, you better talk to this kitchen table. We ain't living this good because those set it off as this. Well, shut the fuck up, shit. It's been an interesting week for black people, a couple of months, man. Bill Cosby was released from prison, and as soon as he got out, he could see again.
And I'll just leave it up to you to decide which one of these you think was the best comedian during the show event. And who do you think has the strongest position in this social media contract dust-up, DL or Monique? Please drop me a line in the comments section below. And in the meantime, before you go, make sure you give me a huge thumbs up. And I also want to ask you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos on this topic or whenever I go live. And if you'd like to purchase a copy of either or both of my books entitled Contract Writing for Dummies or my book entitled How to Get Away with Contracts Episode 1, please pick up a copy on Amazon using the direct link posted in the description section below. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram.